alternate nostril breathing, step 3. So, thank you for coming back if you're returning to alternate nostril breathing. And if you just found alternate nostril breathing, we're moving into some visualizations now. So if the visualizations and doing the breathing and the posture seems like too much for you, go back and start at step 1 and go ahead and build the practice up from there. So now we're going to, like I said, be doing some visualization. And we're going to start with the same practice as step 2, except in our minds, as we inhale, we imagine the energy of the sun. So, as you can see, it's a hot day outside here, and I do apologize for the fan noise, but otherwise I would just be sweating all over in this little room and unable to concentrate. So, energy of the sun is, it's right out there. It's heat, it's light, and there is a bit of joy and bliss in the energy of the sun as well, if you think about it, because it keeps you alive. So it keeps, it brings the flowers to bloom in the morning when the sun comes up. If you've ever seen a big field of sunflowers, you'll see that they move their heads to face the sun, right? As the sun comes up, you hear all the birds wake up and start making noise. So the sunlight is a active, vibrant feeling, especially in the early morning as it comes up. And then it turns into nice and hot, and sometimes here in the tropics it's actually pushing you down with its energy, but for the visualization we focus on let's focus on the positive, energizing aspects of the sun, right? So it keeps you warm, it keeps your body alive, it keeps the plants growing. It's heat, the color yellow, right? It's a bright, bright yellow. So all of those things are the energy of the sun. Don't think of it as a mystical thing. You don't have to pretend that there's some kind of etheric force of the sun that's coming into your body. Go ahead if you want. For me, I visualize this sun, this energy as a force coming into me, but I don't think that someday we're going to just be able to use some piece of testing equipment and say, aha, that's the energy of the sun. I kind of doubt it. But at the same time, we can find that being out in the sun gives us vitamins, and it changes the hormones and the glandular production in our own body, in our own brain, right? So it does make us more happy being out in the sun, you know. Where I came from in Oregon, people get seasonal, what do you call that? Seasonal affective disorder quite a bit by being in the cloudy weather away from the sun. So yeah, it is affecting you. It does affect your health. It affects your mood. It affects your feelings. So all of this combined is the energy of the sun. And you'll notice that in all the practices and philosophies that I do in these videos, a lot of times we are taking concepts from the ancient or medieval world where they would refer to things such as the energy of the sun, the energy of air, or the element of earth. And these are not the classifications that we work with today in science. And there's this temptation to want to mythologize them, to make them into these mystical forces, and I don't feel like you have to do that. It's the truth is that at that time, when these classifications were in general use, which was not that long ago, you know, by the way, when these classifications were in use, I mean energy of the sun, energy of the moon, which we'll get into later, element of water, ideas like that. When these classifications were in use, they were the most logical because they're based on felt experience. Okay, they're not based on observational equipment because they didn't have observational equipment. So it's based on your felt experience. So if you are concerned, or you find yourself, if you find yourself wanting to either mythologize the energy of the sun and turn it into a magical kind of spooky thing, like, you know, organ or something, just go ahead and sit in the sun and just feel the energy of the sun. That's all it is. It's that and its effect on you, that should be powerful enough. It's changing your mood, it's changing your health, it's making the plants live, it's giving you life. That is more powerful than some kind of mystical flying saucer energy. It's better. So, or also if you have trouble, you know, if you have a very rational mind and you just don't want to get too woo-woo with it, you know, it's all you're feeling, heat of the sun. So we're visualizing that, and by visualizing it, we are going to make felt changes in our body, because we're changing how we conceive of our body and mind with these exercises. So that's just the point that I wanted to get across about visualizations, and I probably mentioned it on other videos, so if I'm boring you with my explanation of that, I apologize. I just think it's important that we don't go too far in either direction, that we don't say, oh, there's no energy of the sun, when it's what keeps us all alive. So that's a ridiculous statement. There's no energy of the sun because I can't see it on a graph. Well, it's what's keeping you alive, you know. And also, not to say, oh, the energy of the sun is this, it's a mystical, trans-dimensional, you know, thing that we could use to overcome gravity in spaceships, or, you know, there's no need for conspiracies about it either. So I think doing either way of thinking is doing an injustice to the felt experience, and these videos and these practices are about our felt experience in the moment. That is the important thing. So in this moment, we are going to be feeling the energy of the sun, for lack of a better term, the energy of the sun entering into the body. So you can feel it entering in your nose as you breathe. You might want to feel it entering into your outstretched hand, or you might feel it just entering in all the pores of your skin. But you're visualizing it, however you do it, on each side. So when you have your left side up, you're going to feel that coming in the left side. And then at the top of your breath, this is the top of your breath before your breath turns over and exhales. At the top of your breath, you feel that it has permeated this side of the body. And then when you exhale, you feel it going back out. So later we'll get a bit more complicated with the visuals of where it goes in and where it goes out. But for now, like I said, you can feel it coming in the hands and going out the hands, coming in the nose, going out the nose, going in the whole body, or going out the whole body. Anything like that, whatever works for you. This is just to get the juices flowing of the practice, so we can move forward with it later. So I'll stop talking now so we can get back to alternate nostril breathing. Okay, right hand up, cover the right nostril with the right thumb, left hand up in the air, and we're going to inhale the energy of the sun and exhale the energy of the sun 7 times. And after the last exhale is complete, bring the hands down. Sometimes I want to hurry up and I'll drop the hands as I'm exhaling. But that's not really being mindful because we're doing 7 complete inhales and 7 complete exhales. So drop the hands after that exhale is complete. Okay. Right side. And drop the hands. And now both hands. Inhale and exhale through both sides. And hands down. Okay. You may want to sit and notice just how that feels for a moment. So if you're following along with these and you've done all 3 in a row, I would say now is probably a good time to move on to doing a meditation or yoga practice instead of continuing with more alternate nostril breathing. And because if you're if you're new to it, you can kind of for some people, for me, it was too much to do it very often in a row. So go ahead and do some physical yoga or meditation or whatever you prefer with the built up energy from this. So thank you for joining, and if you have followed them all in a row, I hope to see you tomorrow for alternate nostril breathing